Hello everyone. Today we will be talking about classes and objects. Objects are nothing but collection of data, variables or functions. And classes are blueprint for the object. Let's take an example. Consider classes as a blueprint for your home. So before building a house, you will have a design ready on the paper that will make sure that you need these things or these attributes in the place to build a house. So this will make more clear when we do an example. So let's start with example. Here we'll be creating a users for our website. So let's start. So the first thing is how we can initialize a class. We'll use a keyword called class, give it a name and then colons. For now, I will leave it a blank. So in Python, if you want to leave anything blank, you will write down pass so you don't see an error. So let's create an object for our class. So I will name it as a user1. Then I will have assignment operator equals, and then we will use a class name with with the brackets. So this way we can create an object for a class, and this is our class. Moving forward, now we want to add an attribute for our object. So we want to have user one dot first name, that's and we will have user one dot last name, that will be John, and we will have a user one dot age, so that will be 30. Moving forward, we'll create another instance, user 2 equals user. So this is a second object for our class user. So we'll have a similar attributes. I will just change the name to user 2, and I will have Smith here, and any name Luis. So but I will have another different attribute that will be uh, email. Let's say email, that sound more familiar or important. So we will have Louis dot Smith at gmail.com. So this is the way we did a different attribute. So now let's start printing it. For example, if we want to print the username for class 1, for the user 1, so we'll do user 1 dot first name, and we'll print it. So let's see the output. So it says Ram. If I change it to user 2, it will give me Luis. So this is the way we can access the elements or variable for each class. But now the problem here is user 1 does not have email, but user 2 has an email. So if I want to print an email here, let's see, it gave me an email here for user 2. But if I try it for user 1, it will give me an error because user 1 does not have that attribute. So, so that's the major thing that we want to have a variable or fields or methods included in class, so we can have a similar object and we don't encounter an error. So let's delete everything and now start making a proper class with arguments. So now we'll start with having a structure for our class. So for that we'll use a def function and an id self. So this is the um, very initial function that we use. So we'll use a self variable here. This will help us to access the elements for the class. So what we want here is first name, last name, email, and age. We need only these four attributes for now. So let's put the arguments into a variable. So what we will do, we'll do self dot first name equals first name, self dot last name equals last name, self dot email equal email, and self dot age equals age. For now I'm taking all the names same, like first name here and last name same, but if you want you can change the variable name, but it's easy to remember the variable names like this, so I'm taking the same names. So this is our class. Now let's see if I want to create a user one. What I will do, I will pass the arguments here. So first name is Amit, last name is Vij, and my email is, for example, av@gmail.com, and my age is post 25. This is the way we will create a object. Sorry, so user. Now let's try running it. User one equals. Sorry, I messed this. So we'll give it a name, then we'll do this way. And after running it, it didn't give us error. So this is the way we can create a object for a class with the variables. So this will help us to be consistent throughout. So now, for example, if I want to print, I will do user one dot first name. Let's see, it gave me Amit. So we can have a different one, another user similarly, and I will give it a name user 2. I will have test user here, test, and test. Age remain 25, that's fine. So if I want to access the elements from this user, I can do user 2 dot age, and I will print it, sorry. So let's see. So user 2 dot age is 25. So now another common scenario is that we want to print a full name that we will generate by combining first name and last name. So the first way we can do is we can have print, we can have a format string where we can pass user1 dot first name and user1 dot last name. But so we can have that. But the thing is, if we want to do it this way, we have to type for each user. So what we will do is we will create a function here that we will use to print the first name and last name for all the members of a class. So print name, I'm just giving it a function name, and don't forget we have to pass a variable self. So what we will do is I'm just cutting it out, pasting it here. So we have a similar one, but we have to change it to self. User1 need to be changed with or replaced with self. So now see how easy it will be to print a full name for each of the member. So let's say user2 dot full, sorry, print name, I change it, and let's see. So it gave us a full name. We can try it with the user1 as well. So this is the way we can create a lot of functions inside the class, so and use it with very minimal efforts. So another good tip about the classes is you can have your documentation. So you can have your documentation by using three quotes, and then you can maintain this is a class that will record the user information, and then end it with three quotes as well. So this documentation will help you to save a lot of time in future if we want to return back to this class and see what is happening. And how we can access this documentation is another question. So we can use the help function, and in this we will type a user. So help and name of the class. So let's see if we can see that. Oops. So it is saying indentation error. Ah, sorry, my bad. So we should be starting it from here. Now, so after calling a help function, it gave us our documentation, the comment we made, and also tell us which arguments we need to create an object. So this is the way you can maintain the documentation, which will be very helpful for you and your peer programmers. So, yep, thanks for watching this video.